Rob, one of the guys I feel safe in saying has become kind of one of the most entertaining guys in Hollywood, from his on-camera work to his off-camera shenanigans, is Tom Holland. I just love this kid. He can dance. He's funny. He is totally fearless. Remember that dance video you and I watched where he was on the show and he did that dance off with Zendaya?
Yep.
I mean, the kid is completely fearless. He's got this huge, like really boisterous, almost like Dwayne Johnson kind of personality, like without the gravitas, if you will. But I love this kid. I think he's great. Well, anyway, lately and recently, he was out doing some promotion for his new film, Cherry. And during that promotion, he told a little bit of a story that I think is actually really interesting. Apparently, Tom Holland was very close to being Finn in Star Wars, the John Boyega character. And I found this fascinating. This is the story that he tells. He says the following. He says, I've had quite a few. I've read the wrong lines at the wrong auditions before. That I think is hilarious. I remember my audition for Star Wars. I was like 4 or 5 auditions in. That means he was close. When you're 4 or 5 auditions in, you're very close to getting the role. Anyway, I was like 4 or 5 auditions in, and I think I was auditioning for John Boyega's role. He can't even remember which role. I think it was for John Boyega's role. I remember doing this scene with this lady, bless her, and she was just a drone. So I was doing all of this like, we got to get back to the ship. And she was going bleep, blop, blop, bleep, blop. I just couldn't stop laughing. I found it so funny. And I felt really bad because she was trying really hard to be this convincing android or drone or whatever they're called. I just love what he says, or whatever. Real hardcore Star Wars fan here, folks. Real hardcore Star Wars fans. Anyway, he goes on and continues to says, I feel really bad for this lady. She's trying so hard to be a convincing android or drone or whatever they're called. Yeah, I obviously didn't get the part. That wasn't my best moment, which I think is absolutely hilarious. I think this, but Rob, here's the interesting thing. This story, and I think stories like this are really good to remind us of a couple of things. One, now granted, Tom Holland was not the name at that time that he is today, clearly. But it is a good reminder too that a lot of, I think, film fans, we just casually think, well, wait a minute, why doesn't that actor go and be in that movie? And why doesn't this actor go and be in that movie? Well, maybe they wanted to, but unless you're like A-list, a lot of famous actors still have to go out and read and audition for roles. Now, granted, Tom Holland wasn't a big deal at the time this happened, but it's a good reminder of that. Another good reminder of this situation reminds us of is that a lot of these studios, they remember people they liked, and they will often come back to those people later. Rob, you and I have talked many times about the Henry Cavill thing. Like before Henry Cavill finally got his shot to play Superman, he was the runner-up to play Superman in Superman Returns. He was the runner-up to be James Bond to Daniel Craig. It was down to Daniel Craig and Henry Cavill before he made it big. Now, of course, he did have a breakout role in The Tudors, but this is just a thing that studios, they know who the blue chip prospects are, and they know who the can't miss upcoming stars are. And they keep an eye on them. And even though he got close with Bond and didn't get it, and even though he got close to Superman and didn't get it, eventually he got it. They keep bringing him back because they remember him. And obviously, the folks over at Disney remember Tom Holland, and now he's our Spider-Man. But it's an interesting thing. Rob, you hear a story like this. What, if anything, are there any life lessons here for people? And what do you think just about the story itself in general?
Well, first of all, it's kind of adorable, like everything Tom Holland does. But I mean, I can understand that. Like, if you're an actor and you are trying your best to get a part, and we said, it's his 5th audition or something?
Yeah, 5th audition for it.
He's worked on his character and he's immersed himself in it. And you're acting. It's already hard enough to be in an audition for an actor. Sometimes you're working with a casting director who's throwing lines back to you that are totally monotone. It's not like you're working against another great actor. But if someone's going, beep, bop, boop, boop, doot, 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 like doing R2, like I can understand that. That would be an incredibly uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable place to be in. I also think it's sort of irresponsible for the producers or the casting people to put an actor in that position. I mean, there's plenty of R2D2 toys on the market that make noises. So if you want somebody to act opposite a droid and it's their 5th audition, meaning 5 callbacks, that's a long way to make it in the casting sessions. Get an R2D2 toy that can actually beep, because you know what that would do for an actor being able to get into their character and deliver a performance? I mean, how hard can that be? So I would put this one, I know Tom Holland's putting it on himself. In this particular case, John, I absolve him of the responsibility of being unable to stop laughing.
I don't. You're an actor, man. You got to be able to get into any environment under any circumstances, and you got to deliver. And if you're an actor and you're put in that room, and I don't care if they have garbage trucks backing up and one of the lights kind of flickering on and off and some lady saying bleep, blop, blip, you got to deliver, man. You got to deliver. You got to show me, because you get on set, you never know what the environment's going to be. You got to be able to step in there and perform.
But audition is it's a different kind of an experience.
You got to see if they can handle it.
I don't know, man, because no one on set's going to be going beep, bop, boop, beep.
Hey, but but there might be other distractions. There could be other things. You don't want another Christian Bale meltdown. But I'll tell you what, Rob, the thing that this does remind me a lot of is I've obviously had a lot of friends who are actors in LA. You and I both have a lot of friends who are actors. And I remember this one girl friend of mine. She worked so hard, was getting acting jobs in Toronto, came down to LA, was literally doing like 3 auditions a day for years and never got one. And that's not an unusual situation for a lot of these performers. Right. I remember Sinead DeFries. I mean, everybody knows like what a superstar Sinead is, but I didn't know this, but she told me this one time, like when I cast her for AMC at the time, I was the first person ever to give her, I was the first time she ever got casted. I'm like, but you're a superstar. Like you're a superstar, but that's the thing. You get really talented people. And so literally hundreds of auditions and getting turned down. The type of testicular fortitude you need to have to be able to chase that kind of a dream and face that kind of rejection on a daily basis. And you got to, dude, there's been one time in my life, that I applied for a job that I didn't get. And it devastated me. I questioned my own value as a human being. I was emotionally distraught. I felt so dejected. And you got these actors who are hardcore, man, because they will go out and they will face that every day because they know they're going in for an audition against maybe 500 other people or 1,000 other people, and the chances for success are low. The chances for rejection are high. But I'm telling you, man, these actors, while we make fun of a lot of their propensities, the reality is that these actors, they have an iron will about them to be able to go out and do that. Because I don't think I could. I honestly don't think I could ever do that and face something where I get like rejection like 3 times a day. I don't think I could handle it. But I guess the bigger the dream, the bigger the cliff you may fall off of. But anyway, that's just say I admire it. And I love that Tom Holland can tell that story these days and sell it with a smile. There's another reason why I love this kid. Anyway, guys, you hear about that. What do you think? What kind of Finn do you think he would have turned out being? Jump down into the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys.